welcome back to the People in Progress podcast, where we talk all things self-improvement, lifestyle, and how to live your best life. I'm your host Elsa, and this episode is all about navigating the holidays. I thought this would be a perfect episode with New Year's, Christmas, December holidays coming up, and with American Thanksgiving having just ended. So we're going to talk all about habits, reminders, mindset stuff, having the best end of year and holiday season this 2023, and so you can continue to have the best time this December. But for this week's segments, what is progressing my life at the minute? I have to say, I think it's meal planning. I was in a bit of a slump with cooking for a little bit and getting really back into my meal planning era. I've always, I meal plan every single week, but I was being more intentional about it, doing a bit more research and really trying to plan everything to a T. I felt more inspired with my cooking. I've been enjoying my meals more. I also feel like I have more time and I'm more organized. And yeah, it just reminded me that if I take the time to do this really well, it is so good. And if you're interested in meal planning, I have an entire episode about meal planning. It was one of the first ones I did on the podcast and it's really good, so I'll link that somewhere. But what is holding me back? I've been saying this far too often for me to say it right now. It has to be staying up too late. I'm really trying to work on this, but the trickle-down effect it has of then me sleeping in and then me not getting tired and all this other stuff, it's just so annoying and I need to work on it. It's going to take some time, but this is something I'm really putting my energy into focusing on. And a little life update, I wanted to mention this is the last podcast episode of 2023. If you didn't catch last episode, I spoke about this a bit, but I'm going to go over it again. We are going to be coming back in January with a bang, but we are taking December off. I did this because I'm focusing mainly on video content on my YouTube and TikTok during December, and I was thinking about this since this is a self-improvement podcast. We're very busy, we're focusing on social stuff, and I'm going to talk a lot in this episode about balance, but for balance, I think I need to cut this out of my schedule just for December, but don't worry, we are coming back in January with a bang, and January is the perfect time for self-improvement content. So there's going to be some extra special stuff coming up in January with the podcast, don't worry, but I need to take this break to come back with a bang, not to burn myself out. Otherwise, what's been going on? I've just been getting ready for Christmas, decorating, getting ready for people visiting. We're hosting this year. Jake and I have been going Christmas shopping. We've been organizing gifts, and I love gift giving. I feel like there is nothing better than finding the perfect gift for someone, so I really do just love this time of year. And my current read is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I am taking quite a bit of time to get through this book. I think it's just because I've been really busy with other projects this month, like getting ready for all the social media Q4 stuff, and also I've been doing NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, where I write 50,000 words in a month, which I am on track to complete soon at the end of the month. All of that has meant I'm not reading as much as I would normally. I think Wildfire is my third or fourth book this month, which isn't bad. I would just normally read them a bit quicker. I'm loving the book, however. I think it's going to be a 5 stars. It's only just that I don't have enough time to get through it very quickly, but it is so good. And if you haven't read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, I love her writing. She is such a good author and I'm just obsessed with her writing and her characters. It is such a good book. Okay, but now into all my tips, tricks, habits, and mindset reminders for navigating the holidays this year. First of all, there is absolutely no reason to be hard on yourself. Negative self-talk actually simply holds us back from what we're trying to achieve because we're focusing on the negative and it feeds into our brain's negativity bias. We want to be focusing on positive self-talk and positive thinking because although our negativity bias is ingrained in our brains to keep us safe, focusing on positive self-talk will motivate us, it will encourage us, and overall it will make you less stressed. I remember that life, nature, everything is all about ebbs and flows, and there is no reason you should convince yourself you need to be in some perceived perfection all year round. I've seen lots of people talk about this with trees and nature, and I think it's that idea of wintering, where in the winter trees lose their leaves, nature slows down and lots of things hibernate. And you don't necessarily have to hibernate per se, but you don't have to be at 100% productivity all the time. Trees and flowers are not blooming all year round, and you don't need to either. You don't need to be hard on yourself because taking care of yourself is also productive, and we also don't need to measure things in productivity. Rather, you should focus on balance, which is our next tip. talking about ebbs and flows and not being hard on yourself. You just need to focus on different things at different times. Expecting yourself to be 100% at every single thing all of the time only leads to burnout. And I spoke a lot about this in episode 3 of my Dream Life series, so if you've been listening to that, you already know all about this. But a really good way to prioritize balance is to look at your values. So what do you value, and how can you incorporate that into your life during the holidays, even if you're not doing 100% of everything all the time? Because if you focus on your values, even if you're not working every day, even if you're not writing every day, reading every day, walking every day, whatever it is, you will still feel fulfilled at the end of it. So thinking about values, if you really, really value hard work and success, but in the holidays you're taking time off work, a way you can still honor that value is by acknowledging that taking time off will make you more productive in the long run by avoiding burnout. Or if one of your values is creativity, but say it's art, you don't have enough time to paint during the holidays because you're traveling, then channel that creativity into other things, like for example wrapping presents, creating gifts, or hand making cards. You can still honor those values in different ways during the holidays. And just a little reminder, I don't love the mindset or the phrases "it's okay to mess up" or "it's okay that you're going off track." And now these are not inherently bad if anyone says this, and I'm sure I've said this before, and who knows, I'll probably say it again, but the idea of them isn't inherently bad. I just don't like what they represent, and that is that it is messing up if you are not doing everything right. So you are not going off the track, you are just living life, which is the track you're meant to be on. Another thing you can do to have the best holidays yet is to incorporate movement and go outside. So in the last episode of the podcast, which is my Cozy Girl Guide to Winter, which I highly recommend listening to, if you're interested in this, it is another guide on how to live your best life this winter. This one is more focused on the holidays, obviously, but I spoke about that so much in that episode. But going outside and doing some movement can be great both for your physical health and your mental health. But I did see when I was researching for this, a lot of articles and a lot of people phrasing this as kind of like a punishment for enjoying yourself or to make up for things you're doing during the holidays. And you should absolutely not think of it in that way. Think of it as a way to enjoy yourself. You should enjoy moving your body and going outside. If you're not enjoying it, then maybe you're just not, one, thinking about it correctly, or two, doing the wrong things. Some ways to enjoy yourself outside, because it is so good to go outside and get moving. Fresh air and seeing the sun, especially during the colder, shorter days, is so important and will make you feel 1,000 times better. Some ways to do this are going on walks with people you love in the cold. Some of my favorite Christmas memories are going on walks with people, especially I was thinking back to when Jake and I spent Christmas in the Yorkshire Dales, and I think it was on Christmas Day we went for a walk, and it was, I think, lightly snowing, and we were walking the dog, and they're just some of my favorite Christmas memories. Also, there are so many cold weather activities you can enjoy, like skiing and skating and sledding and all that kind of stuff. There are so many opportunities to get outside and enjoy yourself and just move your body. You don't have to be outside, but the outside ones are particularly fun. Another thing you should incorporate these holidays is to practice gratitude. Research has shown that practicing gratitude increases happiness. And if you want to have a good time this holidays, obviously you want to increase your own happiness. It is also a great way to unwind if there are certain parts of the holidays that might make you stressed. You can incorporate gratitude into your daily routine in some really easy ways, whether it's just thinking about it while you're brushing your teeth, or while you're drinking your morning coffee, or while you're going to bed, or by doing a journal. You don't need any fancy journal, just a piece of paper, or you could even do it digitally. Just write down one thing you're grateful for every day. I also love asking Jake about what he's grateful for. It's such a great thing to incorporate chatting about with your partner if you're on a walk or if you're just having a meal together. It is so fun. And if you're interested in incorporating gratitude into your routine every day, I actually sell morning pages on my Etsy. I think when I'm posting this, I am having a Black Friday sale on my Etsy if you want to check it out, and everything is under $4 Canadian, which is very cheap. So they're a really easy thing to incorporate into your routine every day. You just write them in the morning, like a little daily page with some prompts, and it is the best way to start your day, and that always includes gratitude in it. And creating a gratitude practice is also a perfect way to set yourself up for 2024 by working on your abundance mindset. I know I mentioned gratitude was a great way to de-stress if you're stressed about some things during the holidays, but here are some other ways you can de-stress. Because I know the holidays can be very busy and stressful, and so it is important to take a moment for yourself. So for example, journaling in the morning, or your morning walk, or waking up and stretching. If you take control in these moments, if you take small moments to yourself to de-stress, then it is easier to cope with other things. It is like working out. You're building a muscle like you would with a workout. You are building a more resilient, positive mindset by taking time and making practices to de-stress. So talking about stress, another thing you want to do is communicate your boundaries these holidays. You're probably catching up with a lot of people, going to a lot of social events, and like I said, the holidays are so fun and I love them, but there are some aspects that can be stressful. There are also just like a lot of holiday-based expectations. So one thing you want to do is, if you're being asked to talk about things you don't want to talk about, or if people are prying or just asking you to do too much, is to just practice saying no and know that boundary setting is good for your mental health, you're protecting your own peace, and you're allowed to say no. And like I said, in terms of building mental resilience, taking time to de-stress is creating this mental resilience. Doing this makes it easier to let other people not bother you. I think about it like waterproofing sometimes. When you waterproof something with wax, for example, like you can wax a jacket, you're adding more wax, which makes the item more waterproof. And the more wax, the more layers of wax you add on, the more waterproof it is. So doing these things, setting boundaries, de-stressing, is like adding more wax, and it makes it easier for other people's actions, thoughts, or the things they say to just roll off you like a waterproof jacket, if that makes sense. And it is important with setting boundaries to just allow yourself to disengage. If people are saying stuff that you're not interested in or doing stuff you don't want to be a part of, just acknowledge that that is their problem and you know better, and you don't have to engage in it all the time to protect your own mental peace. Talking about stress, and we're getting into some not heavier stuff, but there is a lot of food related stuff that I know people can find stressful throughout the holidays. And even when I was researching this episode, there's a lot of information out there that I personally don't like the wording of, so I just wanted to give a couple tips. First of all, practicing mindful intuitive eating is important all year round. It is such a good practice and it has improved my mental and physical health so much. However, some ways you can practice that during the holidays are to check in with yourself, see how you're feeling, see what you're craving, see if you feel full, and learn those hunger signals. And if you're anything like me, around the holidays you'll want to try everything, but I love cooking and food. It is so exciting. It's one of the reasons I love the holidays so much. I love holiday food. A little tip with being intuitive, if you're like me and want to try everything, is to start small and grab a little bit of everything, and you can always come back for more, and to be in tune with how you feel about the foods. But if you start small, you can always go back for more, and it means you get to try everything. And just a little tip, because I saw so much stuff be like, for the holidays, be healthy by avoiding blank, by eating blank. It was so stupid. I hate that. But I just wanted to mention, if you are avoiding something you are craving, and I'm not going to give examples because I'm not going to demonize food, you are idolizing that food by putting it on a pedestal, saying you can't have it, and you will continue to crave it, and nothing is going to fill that craving if you continue to idolize it. So simply have the food you are craving, honor your body, honor your cravings, and just enjoy it, be intuitive with it, enjoy the food, and move on. You don't have to idolize and demonize food like that. It is a crazy diet culture mindset. You shouldn't take part in it these holidays, and if other people around you are talking about it, go back to the boundary setting thing, tell them to not talk about it around you, or work on your waterproofing and let it just roll off you. That is what I'm trying to do. Okay, something else you should keep in mind these holidays is to drink plenty of water. I love all the fun drinks, seasonal coffees, hot chocolates, cocktails, wine, all of that. I'm so excited for that. However, remember to drink water as well. I think with all these fun, exciting things going on, it can be easy to forget to drink water, but this is just a short little reminder, because you will feel so much better physically, but also mentally if you drink enough water. And another thing to remember, there is no point worrying about things you cannot control, whether it's something you literally can't do right now, something you can't control, or something you don't have time for because it is the holidays. Do not let stress ruin your holidays. It is just silly, and the only person worrying is affecting is you. With the new year coming up, I obviously think it's really important to think ahead. I love thinking about the new year and about the future. You also just have to focus on the moment, and if you can't do something right now, there is no point worrying about it. Think about it when you actually have time to do it, or when you can control something. If something is happening that you can't control, then like I said, there's literally nothing you can do. What is the point in worrying? Again, the only person you're hurting by worrying is yourself. So I know it's hard, but try just tell yourself that and switch off. You don't need to care about it. It's only hurting you. my last holiday reminder to have the best time is to enjoy yourself. I know this is simple, but I wanted to remind you because there's so much stuff we have to think about doing and not doing, blah, blah, blah. But you deserve to relax and have fun and create amazing memories. So enjoy yourself. And remember, enjoying yourself only works if you don't shame and guilt yourself for enjoying yourself afterwards. So just have a good time. Enjoy the little things, live in the moment, appreciate the Christmas lights, appreciate going out in the cold, appreciate the snow and the presents and the gifts and the time with family and friends and the music. And if you want any more tips on how to enjoy winter in general, I highly recommend checking out my Cozy Girl Guide to Winter. I have so much fun wintry stuff you can do in there and how to enjoy and make the most of winter in that episode. And yeah, just a reminder, you deserve to enjoy yourself. Okay, that is all for today. I hope you guys have a great December. Just a reminder, my self-discovery guide is out now on Etsy. I'll have it linked in the show notes, and if you're listening now, it is currently in my Black Friday sale, which ends at the end of November. It is the perfect first step in living your best life, and it is perfect before the new year if you want to pick it up now. Otherwise, I really hope you guys have a good holidays. I hope this episode helped a bit, and I will see you guys in 2024. Thank you so much for listening.